Finding the right solution for hearing loss can be very challenging. And if you've been looking online or watching television and stumbled across a brand called Nano Hearing Aids, then you need to watch this video as you consider whether they're the right choice for you. My name is Dr. Ben Thompson, audiologist, hearing loss, and tinnitus specialist. Today, I will review the Nano Hearing Aids to help you make the right decision. In 2022, the FDA finalized and published their Over-the-Counter Hearing Aid Act. And that opened up the hearing aid market for certain companies to be able to sell hearing aids online. Those guidelines had specific criteria for what is considered a high quality hearing aid. And if it meets those criteria, then it can be labeled as an over-the-counter hearing aid. At this time, as my team and I were looking into this, we did not find that Nano hearing aids are registered as over-the-counter hearing aids, nor are they prescription hearing aids that you would get from an audiologist. So with that in mind, we have to be careful here that these are not very well vetted as excellent pieces of technology. Ultimately, we want you to have the best sound quality, the best speech understanding, so you can live a full and productive life in your work, around family, around friends, and we want to make sure the hearing aids are meeting certain technical specifications so that you can actually do that. And since Nano as a company is not following the new FDA regulations and guidelines, then we have some healthy skepticism that these cheap hearing aids that have advertisements on televisions and online are actually providing the right kind of value and the right hearing treatment for individuals who are looking for an affordable hearing loss solution. With that said, let's go over the 4 different types of hearing aids from the company Nano. The first is the CIC completely in the canal rechargeable device, and that's for under $300. For the rest of this video, I'm not going to be calling the Nano devices hearing aids because they don't fit into these 2 major categories that we want to see moving forward, which are prescription hearing aids that you would get from a doctor's clinic like an audiologist, or over-the-counter hearing aids, which have been vetted and verified by the FDA here in the United States. The Nano CIC Recharge model is very basic. I would only recommend this to people who have a very, very simple lifestyle, who really can't afford anything else and just want something that can amplify sound. But really, I would avoid this at all costs if I could. A slightly more sophisticated model is the CIC Digital, completely in the canal, but it's a more digital version. So it has a basic app that you can use through your smartphone, and you can make some simple changes. Still, the sound quality there is not expected to be very good. It's better than nothing, but still it probably won't sound good, especially in noisy places that have background noise where it's the most challenging to hear. Another option from Nano is their product called the X2R Digital. It has a bit more processing capabilities, but unfortunately it's larger and is more noticeable. So between the style as well as the limited functionality and the poor sound quality, I also wouldn't recommend that device. Finally, the last Nano device is the Sigma Plus Bluetooth device that can be used for hearing loss. Even though this is their most advanced device, in my opinion, they're missing the most fundamental part of treating hearing loss, which is getting a hearing test and using the information from the hearing test to program the hearing aid. Now, as an audiologist, this is the most basic thing we could ever do. We want the hearing test to rule out medical problems like ear infections, something that a surgery or a medication could fix. And then we're left with this piano type scale of how well can you hear at different pitches, different frequencies. And with that graph we call the audiogram, then either your audiologist or the company you're working with programs the hearing aid to make sure that you're able to hear and have the best speech understanding in places like with background noise or when you're at home talking to family. So without this step, it's pretty much guesswork, and you're leaving a lot of meat on the bone, so to speak, in terms of what could be done in terms of the best hearing you could have. So even though it's cheap and it's maybe convenient to buy it online, I would really stay away from Nano as a company overall. And I would look for other online solutions. So we recorded a whole video on the best hearing aids this year. I'm going to link that right here next to my head. And then as you're looking at your options for hearing loss, just know that if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. And just like you, I want there to be affordable, high quality hearing aids. And quite frankly, there are. So make sure to watch this next video, which is now going to be above my head, where we talk about the best hearing aids this year. My name is Dr. Ben Thompson with Treble Health. Thanks so much.